This long-haired guy discovered that the gangs were killing people. He immediately picked up the apple in his hand and threw it inside. Unexpectedly, he fell into the gang member. He had a fever for a while, then looked out the window. Who is that stupid bastard? Who dares to run around in my territory? Unexpectedly, the boy picked up the apple, aimed at the corner and threw it hard, directly thrown at Mr. Beam's head. This really made us angry. They immediately ran down to fight. Unexpectedly, the boy was very agile. He got on the boat and ran to the other shore easily. Then he ran to the victim, defeating all the rest of the guys. Then he rescued his uncle, when he learned that the other person was Korean. He was even happier because since he was a child, this was the first time he had met a native. So he immediately took his uncle to run away. He has been practicing martial arts since he was a child. They overcame many difficulties along the way. Finally, he took his uncle on board and left. The boy's name is Puchai. He has lived here since he was a child. The Golden Triangle is a place where femininity is always threatened, fought and killed everywhere. He was brought here by his father. His father was also a thug here, also the most ruthless drug lord in the area. They lived in the mountains. As soon as Puchai returned home, he took his uncle to see his father. Unexpectedly, he was scolded by his father. His father has been very strict with him since he was a child. So when he heard that he had brought a stranger back, he was even more angry. Then his father asked his uncle what to do, and he stammered and said that I could cook. The uncle presented the best dishes he cooked in front of his father, and he ate them very happily. While eating, he praised his uncle for cooking deliciously, and his father was also very satisfied with his uncle's cooking skills. Therefore, he promised Puchai that he would let his uncle stay and work as a chef. At this time, Puchai accidentally saw a photo of a girl. Puchai asks who she is, and the uncle says this is Nana, his daughter, the next day. Puchai gets up early in the morning to practice shooting. But at this moment, the father suddenly forced Puchai's nanny to tie him to a stake. Puchai was surprised. He asked his father why he did it. His father said it was because the nanny's husband had fled with drugs. So now the father plans to let her go to her mother to replace her husband. After learning the truth, Puchai strongly objected, but his father still refused to give up. In desperation, Puchai had to make a bet with his father. He said if you hit all the peaches behind the nanny's back, please let her go. His father agreed, but he had mastered shooting since he was a child, so he was very confident about this. But facing the nanny who had grown up with him, he was extremely worried. After a short period of preparation, he slowly picked up his pistol, shoot accurately at the peach and save the nanny. But Puchai still slammed the pistol the ground. Then he left. Because he couldn't understand his cold-blooded father. Why he had been so desperate since he was a child. He also always taught him to be ruthless. It is impossible to trust anyone in this world. But a kind Puchai cannot do that. He thought about it and continued to sleep on the bed, when he suddenly heard the sound of a gun. He woke up immediately. Then, with his years of training, he pushed his uncle to the ground with a forest plank to block bullets from more than a dozen machine guns outside the house. The whole house immediately turned into a hornet's nest. This brutal criminal gang. It was the bastards that Puchai provoked yesterday. Today they came to take revenge, and the father who was not far away also noticed something unusual in the mountains. He immediately called someone to help, but unexpectedly, Puchai alone could defeat everyone. He was not afraid of guns in the hands of criminals. The speed of martial arts was also very fast, and the gang leader was very angry. Han picked up the machine gun and started shooting. Luckily Puchai escaped. But at this time, the nanny was worried that Puchai would be injured, so she hurriedly ran out. Puchai shouted loudly and told the nanny to run away, but it was too late, and the nanny was directly shot by the enemy. Puchai watched the nanny fall down in disbelief. Because Puchai has not had a mother since he was a child, he has considered his nanny as his biological mother. This scene made him unacceptable. At this time, his father arrived in time, and the gang saw someone coming to help, and immediately ran away. Puchai ran to hug the dying nanny. His eyes were full of energy, and his father walked over and scolded him very loudly. But now in his eyes there was only revenge, and he couldn't hear anything. So he grabbed the top and chased after it, at the speed of a cat chasing a mouse. But at this time, a subordinate stepped on him, and his whole body was blown away. This helped Puchai determine the direction of escape of the thugs. But suddenly Puchai accidentally stepped on a mine. He didn't dare to act recklessly. He was afraid that if he moved, he would die. In a crucial moment, fortunately, his father came to help eliminate the criminals. Then he slowly walked forward. He first told Puchai he should have uprooted it when he saved his uncle yesterday. Leaving behind the easy root of evil, he will definitely be the dead in the end. After speaking, Dad slowly put the knife at the foot of the bottle poo, then let the bottle poo escape the danger first. But when the bomb loosened, the bomb exploded and Pa also used his body, blocking a fatal blow to Puchai. Puchai cried frantically. he carried his father on his back and ran a circuit to the treatment place after returning home. Dad asked Puchai not to treat him. Instead, he asked him to open the wound in his left chest first, taking out a bullet. After that, his father told Puchai about his biological father. It turns out that 17 years ago during a mission, 20 people were killed by his team. The city was abandoned, and his biological father took the bullet to save his father. So he is still alive until now, so that one day in the future he will take revenge. But now it seems that this is impossible. This task has to be entrusted to Puchai to complete. He still hasn't finished speaking. Father Rong fainted from the pain. After a day and a night of treatment, Rong's father finally woke up. He told Puchai everything. And Puchai's biological mother is still alive. After Puchai learned the truth, in the middle of the night he began his path of revenge. This heartless mother puts an infant to bed. She ran to the side to hang her clothes, but unexpectedly when her mother returned, then they accidentally discovered that the child was missing, leaving only a piece of paper on the bed. The mother ran out with a broken heart, searching everywhere, but found nothing. The person who kidnapped the child was a top special forces soldier. He is Jinpa, the good brother of the Moju who planted the woman, not long ago on a secret mission. He and 20 comrades were abandoned by the country, all of whom were shot dead by their own men. His good brother Moju saved him in danger. Jinpa is the only one who survives. He decides to take revenge on his 20 brothers, so he decides to kidnap Moju's child and sneak into the terrifying Golden Triangle. Train your child to become a top assassin. However, Puchai already knew all this. After experiencing the trauma, his psychology has completely changed. He knows the importance of the task on his back and decides to lead himself on the path of revenge. In the following days, Puchai began to learn a lot of knowledge. Spend 6 hours a day learning a foreign language and persistently practice 8 hours a day. Just like that, 10 years have passed, but on the day before departure, his father gave him his identity card and a new passport, let him live in Korea as a Junsung in the future. Dad asked him to follow 3 principles. The first is to forget his previous identity. The second is don't trust anyone, don't love any woman. Because once his identity is discovered, everyone around him will be hurt. However, what he didn't expect was that the girl behind him in the near future would secretly love him for life. The girl's name is Nana because she has a plant dad, so for the past 10 years, she has been working hard to make money, to pay for expensive medical bills for dad. However, Nana wants to make money, so she works many different part-time jobs every day that day. Junsung, wanting to investigate the finance minister that year, deliberately approached his woman Min-hee. However, as soon as he walked out of the bar, Junsung recognized Nana. But he didn't communicate much with her. Instead, he asked if she was a driver. Are you a driver? That's right, then all 3 people got into the car, but suddenly a young man came claiming to be a prosecutor. She wanted to force Min-hee out of the car, but Nana couldn't stand the grievances and fell to the ground. Then she drove away. On the way, an unbearable scene occurred. Through the rearview mirror, Nana saw the 2 of them cuddling each other in the car, which was really too much of an eyesore. Doesn't seem to care about her presence. So she immediately slammed on the brakes, turned around, and told them to be patient. The hotel was only 2 minutes away, but the woman was not happy to hear that. She inquires about Nana's condition and says that she can't help it. So what? Nana had never seen such a shameless woman. She angrily picked up the bag and was about to get out of the car and leave. Junsung saw that. He immediately jumped out of the car and walked towards Nana, telling her to continue driving. But Nana refused, saying she should have received 20,000 in compensation. Now that we are halfway there, 10,000 is fine. After speaking, she reached out and snatched Junsung's wallet, taking her 10,000 troops from it. She then returned the wallet to Junsung and left in a disdainful manner. Then she came to touch the bus to wait for the bus. Suddenly she found out that her mobile phone was lost. After thinking about it, she realized that it might have fallen in the car. At this time, Junsung and Min-hee are coming to a romantic moment. But the purpose of Junsung's approach to Min-hee is not simple. It is to investigate the Minister of Finance. What Min-hee said at this time, it was all secretly recorded by Junsung. When the woman spoke to the point, the phone suddenly rang. Junsung was very unhappy. But he still answered the phone. Nana quickly said her purpose. But Junsung didn't pay attention to her. He immediately turned off the phone. Nana was so angry that she walked to the front of the car and kicked the car. The car alarm sounded also successfully attracted Junsung's attention. At this time, he also found a mobile phone in the car. He picked up the phone. It seemed that there was a call from the hospital. On the other side, Nana rushed to the hospital. She begged the doctor to perform the surgery to place a vascular stent for her father. She will definitely earn more money to make up for the surgery fee owed to the hospital. At this time, a voice rang out. It turned out to be Junsung. He came here to return his mobile phone. At the same time, he paid for the surgery for Nana, watching Jun Sung leave. Nana was surprised. She chased after him and asked him why he was helping her. Jun Sung said that he didn't help her. It was just that he didn't like to hear people complain about him, because he knew the wages for being a driver just now could be her lifeline, so he just wanted to run over and give it back to her. Nana is grateful for this and asks Jun Sung to leave his bank account before leaving. She will definitely return the money. But Jun Sung said that there was no need to return it. This money for him is just money to buy chewing gum. After speaking, he drove away calmly, and Nana slept in the hospital corridor. Until the next day, she woke up to an unexpected phone call. It turned out that she had successfully passed the interview. I was really approved, thank you very much. She received a notice of recruitment from the Greenhouse Security Bureau. She was extremely excited, so she immediately prepared and ran to report. But what she didn't expect was strange. She and Jun Sung were colleagues. Only Jun Sung is a leading computer technology expert in the country. He graduated with a PhD from MIT. After Nana learned of Jun Sung's identity, she felt unbelievable. At first she thought he was a player. Then, after work, she runs to Jun Sung's office to look for him. She looked for Jun Sung to thank him for his help last night and asked for his banker's account. She said that she had to work hard to earn money, to pay him back the money for the surgery. Jun Sung wanted to leave when he heard that, but Nana stopped him. Nana said she now has a full-time job, able to pay off her debts. But Jun Sung told her not to use this method to approach him. He didn't like people like her. After speaking, he turned and left. And Nana was so angry because of those words that she was so angry. Immediately afterwards, in a classroom in the Western Conduit, Nana began to get a little angry with Jun Sung. She directly gave him a few intense shoulder wrestling. Jun Sung also coordinates with her. He didn't want to reveal his identity too early, so he pretended to be a weak chicken. But he actually has a special affection for Nana. Although he was full of scars, but in the face of such a clean and simple girl, he was still a little shaken. So the next day he gave Nana a contract. If she insists on returning the money, she must follow the contract, become his private driver in the future and must be present at any time. In order to repay Jun Sung's debt, Nana can only obediently agree. Then they went to the president's house together. The president heard about Jun Sung's education. He admired him very much, the chairman's daughter Zahi. She was also impressed by Jun Sung's handsomeness. She deliberately showed charm for Jun Sung to see. But Jun Sung was ruthless and restrained her because she was a child who was not good at studying. After that, Jun Sung returned to the car and made a video call to his adoptive father. The adoptive father asked Jun Sung how the investigation into the greenhouse was going. First, Jun Sung reported the investigation into the finance minister. He said that the palace official is currently a member of the National Assembly. When he was a member of the Ministry of Transport, he has approved construction projects for sailors and received bribes from there. He is being investigated by the Procuratorate. After hearing this, the adoptive father told Jun Sung to kill him first. But Jun Sung asked his adoptive father, "Why did you only tell him about the palace of the 5 people?" The adoptive father said to Jun Sung, "As long as the palace is removed, the remaining 4 people will automatically appear." Finally, Jun Sung begged his adoptive father. He wanted to solve it in his own way without using force. On the other side of the Jun Sung of the Procuratorate who was arresting the palace official. But there is no evidence, so nothing can be done after seeing this news. Jun Sung immediately turned the car around. He went into the palace house. He climbed by jumping over the eaves into the wall, plugging the power delivery bridge into the electrical box. While Jun Sung is still asking for proof, Jun Sung had evidence of the palace's corrupt behavior. But suddenly the bell rang. The palace official discovered Jun Sung. Fortunately, Jun Sung had prepared in advance. He pressed the button and the entire villa suddenly lost power. Jun Sung immediately ran away. After returning home, Jun Sung began to check the accounting books. But this evidence is not enough to defeat the palace. Therefore, Jun Sung immediately made an appointment to meet the palace's lover, wanted to get some information from her. But the woman told him that she and the palace official had broken up. Jun Sung immediately lost interest and directly broke up with the woman. Just as Jun Sung walked out the door, he met Nana. Faced with the woman's tug-of-war, Jun Sung took an unexpected action. This man is entangled with a rich woman. The next second, he kept kissing another woman. The rich woman saw this and turned him off. After that, she angrily left. Nana, who had just been kissed, was still not fully sold. She just stood there. Then he turned around and waved goodbye and left. But Nana didn't let him go so easily. She walked over and took his hand. Then, wrestling him over his shoulder, suddenly there was a phone call. A colleague told her that Zahe was missing. It turned out that was the reason Nana appeared in this place to protect President Zahi's daughter. However, Zahe took advantage of Nana's time to go to the bathroom, sneaking away. After Nana found out, she ran out to look for her. But suddenly she bumped into Junsu at the door. Junsu recognized Nana at first sight. Last time she had strangled him on the shoulder. This time he was afraid that Nana would mistake him for a thug again. He took out his prosecutor's card, proving that he was a good person. However, at this time, Nana just wanted to find Zahe. She didn't want to pay too much attention to him as she didn't expect. Junsu had told her he knew where Zahe was. On the other side, Zahe was preparing to escape with his friends. Unexpectedly, Nana blocked the road, and the next morning, Junsu was checking the current situation of the police. Suddenly Nana brought coffee. She said she wanted to buy him a drink and handed Junsu a small notebook. Ask him later every time she runs errands or completes tasks. He had to stamp it, and after completing the 200 seals, the debt would be paid off. Junsu then asked her, obviously she was so concerned about money, why didn't I come over to receive the bag directly? But Nana told him that in this world, not everything can be solved with money. At this moment, Junsu suddenly thought, maybe last night's kiss was her first kiss. When Junsu asked at this time, Nana just wanted to find a hole to get into. She could only run away in embarrassment. Soon they went to the West Kondu classroom again. Nana wanted to teach Junsu a lesson. Unexpectedly, Junsu's counterattack injured her ankle, and she rolled over on the ground in pain. Seeing this, Junsu immediately took her to the hospital for treatment. Junsu then took Nana back home, but seeing that Nana couldn't even climb the stairs, he suddenly felt a little heartbroken. So he walked up to her and picked her up. This man came to the girl's house for the first time. He didn't want to do anything to the girl. Instead, he went into the kitchen to find something to eat. While eating, he complained that the food the girl cooked was not good. But his mouth did not stop. Junsu then found out that Nana's house was filled with small red notes. He asked her what they meant. Nana later said her father had been in the hospital for 10 years, and her mother had also died in the accident 10 years ago. Therefore, since she was a child, she had to take care of her father. She owed the bank a lot of money. These small red sheets of paper are issued by banks, which use it to attach debt. While the two were talking, suddenly a child came to the door and begged for help. As it turned out, the boy's sister suddenly had an epileptic seizure. In an emergency, fortunately, the girl was taken to the hospital in time, so she is now out of danger. Nana later learned from the girl that their father had been away from home for more than 10 days. So every day they could only go out to pick up garbage to eat, and today she had epilepsy. Because of her allergy to bread, after listening to it, Nana felt very heartbroken. She asked her why she didn't go to the welfare house to eat. Then the little girl cried and told the reason for her heartbreak. If classmates find out they are coming to the welfare home to eat, they will dismiss them as beggars. Instead, they would rather starve or eat food from the garbage. The more she spoke, the more sad she became, and Nana momentarily didn't know how to comfort her. This man dared to eat other people's things in the middle of the day, and pretended to have nothing. But the other party would not easily spare him. Unexpectedly, the man was so quick and light. He was trained harshly as a special force, easily defeat all of them with just 23 moves, successfully seized the savings book of bribes of corrupt officials. And all the evidence was couriered to the prosecutor Junyu, who was in trouble. But unexpectedly, in the vote of the National Assembly, because the evidence was not collected legally, the official was exempt from prosecution. This shows the serious corruption of the government. Junyu has no other choice. The plan failed again, and he was also insulted by the official himself. Jun Sung, who was not far away, also witnessed all of this. He vowed to send the official to prison. At that moment, Jun Sung received an invitation from Nana. Nana cooks for Jun Sung and the two poor sisters downstairs. At this time, Nana mentioned the taste of the food her mother cooked. Suddenly, Jun Sung's sad story came to mind. So he immediately left. Suddenly, at this moment, he also remembered and called his uncle who was taking care of his seriously ill wife in the United States. The uncle is like his relative. Only he could make Jun Sung feel a little warmth of his hometown. The next day, his adoptive father asked his uncle to go to Korea to take care of Jun Sung after taking care of his wife's funeral. The uncle was very happy to know that he could return to Korea, go to the summer on the other side. Always bothering the president's father to change tutors. She ignored her father's advice, insisting on Jun Sung to be her teacher. But Jun Sung ruthlessly refused. Just as Jun Sung was about to leave, Summer made a surprise request. If you don't be my teacher, then be my boyfriend. This shocked both Nana and Jun Sung on the side. Jun Sung also desperately walked straight to her, saying that he didn't like spoiled children like her. This makes Summer angry. Then he dragged his mother out in the summer and asked Nana to tell Jun Sung that the president's wife wanted to see him. But this afternoon had no effect, and Jun Sung refused directly because he was in a hurry to pick up his uncle at the airport. The next day was the police book signing event. He wanted to get rid of Jun Sung, who had caused trouble for him many times, to appear, so he found two poor sisters to be the ones to make peace. Using the child's raw mother to threaten Jun-sung, so he just had to take advantage of the situation, directly go to the police so that he can arrest him. Then the police began to act arrogantly in front of him. He spoke of his crimes, but what he didn't know was, all of this has been recorded and made public by the glasses capable of synchronous recording and video transmission. The police did not expect it. The person who killed him was him. At this time, Jun-sung had escaped from the hands of his subordinates. He found that the police were preparing to flee by boat, and he immediately chased after him. As the boat leaves the shore, Jun-sung makes a beautiful jump, which he eventually jumps on board. At this time, the subordinates of the police were preparing to eliminate him. Just as Jun-sung stopped him, Jun-sung also directly threw him into the sea. He then pulled out a pistol from his pocket and aimed it directly at the police. The police begged for forgiveness, but Jun-sung did not soften his heart, because he can finally get his revenge on his deceased father. Don't joke with this man in Korea, because you can't imagine how ruthless he is. When he saw his father's killer, he pulled out a gun and pointed it at him. He immediately pulled the trigger, knocked the man unconscious, and then put him in a cardboard box, sent to the door of the procuratorate, and attracted many reporters to wait there, make corrupt police officials lose all their faces and be punished by the law. Jun-sung was in a good mood. Then he ran to Nana to celebrate his victory. They took the two children to the Han River Park fountain to play. Coconut cleaned up all worries. In the evening, Jun-sung went to Nana's house to eat. Suddenly Nana saw the news on the TV, on which the news was broadcast. Today, the city hunters have eliminated the people. Nana went crazy and complimented the man because he was cool. Jun-sung on the side laughed but didn't say anything. At that moment, Jun-sung's mobile phone suddenly rang. It was a call from his adoptive father, but Jun-sung didn't answer. Instead, he hung up immediately. This makes Nana mistakenly think that the person on the other end of the line is a woman. After that, Jun-sung called back to his adoptive father. His adoptive father began to curse him, criticizing him for not treating himself decisively, but they believe in the law. But Jun-sung said that he trusted prosecutor Young-ju very much. He believed he could bring justice to justice. As soon as Jun-sung returned home, his uncle asked him why he didn't go find his mother. Jun-sung says that he doesn't want to find someone who abandoned him. At that moment, the uncle discovered that the photo had been torn up by his adoptive father. Jun-sung's mother was also on it. The uncle knew that Jun-sung always remembered his mother, but he didn't dare to face it. So the next day, the uncle goes around asking for news about Jun-sung's mother. Unexpectedly, the uncle found it again and even asked for the address. So when he came home, he put the address in front of Jun-sung, asked him to have time go and take a look. But Jun-sung still insisted that he wouldn't go. The next second, he appeared near his mother's snack bar. He watched from a distance. His mother had abandoned him. But in fact, his mother had been looking for him for more than 20 years. It's just that his adoptive father lied to Jun-sung, and his mother never abandoned him. It was her adoptive father who took her son away. The adoptive father wants to fill Jun-sung's hatred to become a tool of his revenge. After that, Jun-sung walked to his mother, his eyes full of nostalgia. But he didn't dare to reveal his identity, watching his mother work so hard. He was also very heartbroken. Suddenly, Nana and Zahi also came here to eat. They were surprised to see Jun-sung here. Jun-sung could only make an excuse to be introduced by others. But when his mother put the bowl of cooked noodles in front of him, he put down the money and left. His mother also noticed that there was something wrong with Jun-sung. At this time, his adoptive father also came to Jun-sung. He was very angry about what Jun-sung had done, so he ran back to Korea, saying that he would personally kill the 5 people who killed his comrades. Jun-sung asks his adoptive father to give up his hatred. He will arrest them and hand them over to the law. He didn't want to be a murderer. His adoptive father refused to give up and warned Jun-sung not to interfere in this matter anymore. He would make it himself, bringing Jun-sung alone to the bar to drink. He asked Nana to be his driver. But when she was gone, she accidentally damaged her wallet. At that moment, Jun-sung saw. He immediately stepped forward to help. Nana also thanked her and left. In the car, Nana constantly complained about Jun-sung's depraved lifestyle. This really spoiled, there is no family teacher. This made Jun-sung very angry. On the other side, Nana suddenly received a housing notice from the court and came to the house where Nana was living. Sold by the owner to someone else. After Jun-sung learned about this, he immediately called his uncle. Tell him that Nana's house is about to be auctioned. The uncle was very worried. When he heard this, he was afraid that Nana would have to live on the streets in the future. Jun-sung didn't care. Then he rushed to Nana and saw Nana begging someone else. He was very miserable after Nana learned the whereabouts of the buyer from the lawyer. She immediately ran there. Unexpectedly, when he sees Nana, The man becomes impatient again and warns Nana that he is not a philanthropist. He bought a house to live in. After saying that, he chased Nana away. This scene was seen by Jun-sung standing not far away. Jun-sung didn't want to be too worried about her, so he called her and made her pay him. But when Nana went to Jun-sung, she didn't smell the alcohol on him. Nana felt that Jun-sung was just playing a prank on her. Although she was angry, she was also helpless. She finally brought Jun-sung back home at the time of parting. Nana no longer greeted him with a smile like usual. This made Jun-sung very sad. Then he drove after Nana, who was sitting on the bus, and saw Nana crying by the car window. Jun-sung also seemed to be crying in his heart. Obviously he liked her, but because of his revenge plan he couldn't express his feelings. This makes Nana's life even more chaotic. Finally, Jun-sung followed her to the door. Before leaving, he watched her go home safely to make up for the hurt he had caused to Nana. The next morning, Jun-sung decided to give her the pink wallet he had bought earlier. But what he didn't expect was that at this time, Jun-sung discovered that Nana already had the same pink wallet in his hand. Jun-sung asks her who gave it to her, and Nana says it's a long-legged uncle and her favorite man in the world, second only to her father. This really made Jun-sung angry. The point is that the man she loves the most in the world, he can't accept. On the other side, the uncle was sent to inquire about the news of the police. Unexpectedly, he learned from the prison guard. The police will be transferred today. The uncle immediately told this story to Jun-sung. However, what they didn't expect was that their adoptive father sneaked into the prisoner's car. Jun-sung also happened to be waiting at the prison gate. Seeing his adoptive father sitting in the prison car where the police were detained, he immediately realized the seriousness of the problem. He didn't want the police to load his adoptive father, so he immediately turned around and chased after him. At this time, the prisoner's car was controlled by his adoptive father. Jun-sung tried to stop him but always failed. In desperation, Jun-sung could only use his life as a bet, forcing his adoptive father to stop the car, but his adoptive father had no intention of stopping. At a critical moment, he suddenly turned the steering wheel, knocked the Jun-sung to the ground, and then drove to a wasteland. The police thought that Jinpa would kill him directly, but Jinpa didn't want him to load it so easily. He asked the police, "Do you remember what happened 28 years ago? How did he kill 20 soldiers?" The police were shocked when they heard that he thought those people were already piled up. But he didn't expect that Jinpa would return for revenge after 28 years, but the purpose of Jinpo's trip was to find for other accomplices from his mouth. But when the police were halfway talked, the police car rushed over. He had no choice but to leave first. But now that Jinpa knew the next target was Seaweed, he was also one of the 5 initiators in the past. Coincidentally, that evening was his family gathering, and Jinpa was about to take this opportunity to shoot him. Unfortunately, Nana works as a bodyguard to protect them while they have dinner before Jinpa took action. He also told Jun-sung the news, telling him to come here as soon as possible. In order to share the fruits of his revenge, Jun-sung recalled that 3 days later, Nana said that she would protect Rong-ha tonight. He was afraid that something had happened to her, so he immediately called her, but unexpectedly, Nana hung up the phone. He had no choice but to press the accelerator and quickly run to the scene. But when he arrived, his adoptive father placed a sniper rifle on the roof next door. Just as he was about to shoot, the hotel suddenly lost power. The next wire, a red dot appears on the boring Nana. Fortunately, Jun-sung showed up at the right time and saved Nana. At this time, they are out of danger. Some time later, the police quickly arrived at the scene. Surrounding the entire building, Jinpa wanted to take the elevator downstairs to escape. But discovering that the elevator was broken, just when he was confused, Jun-sung suddenly appeared, successfully rescuing him. On the way back, his adoptive father blamed Jun-sung for ruining his plan. But Jun-sung told him not to take revenge in this way and to leave the revenge to him with peace of mind. He will do it his own way, completely destroy those people. The next day, Jun-sung sees Nana. He deliberately teased her about her heroic feat last night. But it was clear that Nana was still angry with him. Nana didn't know that the person who had saved her last night was Jun-sung. Because it was dark at that time, she didn't see Jun-sung either. Suddenly at this moment, Nana received a summons to appear in court. Her house was forcibly ransacked. This is the last ultimatum that Nana has to move on. After Jun-sung learned about the situation, he called his uncle immediately. The camera transitioned. He was wearing a black suit. He entered the landlord's shop, pretending to be a gangster, threatening the landlord to sell the house to him. But the landlord was not afraid. The uncle had to take a very tenacious road. After speaking, he took out his leather wallet and took out a stack of banknotes, but the owner is still not satisfied. The uncle took out the black box next to him and took out all the money in it. In the end, the landlord was also a little flustered, agreeing to sell the house to him. This man is very good at teasing his daughter. Instead of having a beautiful woman next to him, he deliberately rested his head on the girl's shoulder. No matter how much the girl struggles, it is useless. Jun-sung then takes her back home, but suddenly discovered that the door of Nana's house had been opened. Jun-sung immediately realized that something was wrong, but Nana thought that she was from the country. Locked the door. As soon as Nana enters the house to change clothes, Jun Sung discovers a thief hiding the button behind Nana. Turned out that just before they returned, the criminal had sneaked into Nana's house. He was sent by a corrupt official to look for evidence of the crime committed by the police. Jun Sung discovered that the criminal had a knife in his hand. He was worried that Nana was injured, so he deliberately made a noise to scare the criminal. Just as the criminal was about to escape through the wall, Jun Sung suddenly appeared, grabbed the criminal's hat and put it on his head to hide his identity. Then the two began a fierce battle, but how could the criminal defeat him? Jun Sung underwent special forces training. Jun Sung knocked him down in a matter of seconds. Jun Sung then returned to Nana's house, telling her to fix the doors and windows of the house. Otherwise, thieves would easily come to visit her. Nana said that she knew her name, and there was no need to be afraid. When Jun Sung left, the criminal escaped. Jun Sung also realized that the criminal was a police bodyguard. When he tried to hide his iron that day, he was worried that the criminal would come back and harm Nana. So he just sat at the door and protected her all night. The next day, Nana worries that she will have nowhere to live and will have to live on the streets. So she came to ask the landlord to give her a few more days. But she learned from the landlord that the entire building had been acquired. The landlord also told Nana the identity of the buyer, and then Nana angrily ran to Jun Sung. "Why did you do that?" Jun Sung thought that she would thank him, but unexpectedly Nana scolded him. Nana insisted on moving. But Jun Sung didn't want Nana to leave. Instead, he went to the hardware store to find the boss, strengthen the doors and windows of the house. But Nana didn't know what Jun Sung had done. In his heart, he always used money to humiliate her, so after work she went home. Nana packed her things and moved out. She threw the house key to Jun Sung. Jun Sung was extremely angry. "What do you do to show off? This is your life." In the end, he still couldn't stand it. He took the keys and drove out to chase her. But no matter how Jun Sung called her, Nana was still unmoved. Jun Sung followed Nana all the way to the hospital. Then Nana ran to her father, and Nana told him about her homelessness, and also the sadness and difficulties in the past years. Jun Sung overheard these words, and he felt very heartbroken. While talking, Nana continued to sleep on the ground. Jun Sung was still worried that she would catch a cold. He covered her with a blanket before leaving, and the next day he wanted Nana to come back and live with him. He came up with a bad idea. He asked her to go back and clean up the dog poop, then take advantage of this opportunity to negotiate with her. Jun Sung said he plans to live with her and that she won't have to pay rent anymore. Just clean everything in the house. There was also jerking and cooking. Nana heard that she didn't have to pay rent. She forgot everything for a moment and agreed immediately. She also successfully falls into Jun Sung's trap. Jun Sung said that he didn't like her, but in fact, from the first time he saw her 10 years ago, he had fallen in love with her. This handsome guy came to the hotel for work. Then he accidentally met a good friend who was drinking alone, and the two chatted for a while. At this time, he knew that she was depressed because of his unhappy relationship. Just as he was about to leave, she accidentally spilled alcohol on Jun Sung's body. Exian, she suggested that she bring her into the room to snatch her clothes, and then return the clothes to him immediately. However, Nana is also here on guard duty. The leader asked her to go into the room to get the documents, but when she went upstairs, she got the wrong room number. She wasn't sure if it was 1926 or 1925. She hesitated to knock on the door. When he opened the door, Nana was extremely. Jun Sung was in the room with another woman. In this embarrassing moment, the room next to 1926 opens and says that the document is here. Nana took the document and ran away. Jun Sung wanted to explain, but Nana was inexplicably angry. She immediately turned off the phone. After returning home, Jun Sung wanted to explain the whole story, but Nana pretended not to care. Asking him not to explain to her, she went back to her room, but still listened to Jun Sung explain herself to herself. Only then did she realize that she had misunderstood Jun Sung. To calm the confusion, she took the initiative to invite Jun Sung to dinner, but Jun Sung angrily said that he didn't want to eat the result of the next line. He couldn't wait to come by himself. Nana said that these dishes were given to her by her grandmother at the snack shop. Jun Sung was a little surprised because it was the mother he didn't want to get back. Nana told him to eat quickly, and she would return the bowl later. Jun Sung said with a slightly guilty look, he also wanted to go out to breathe fresh air. He offered to come with her. But when they arrived, they found that his mother was not well. Jun Sung carried her home, looking at his emaciated mother, making Jun Sung feel indescribably sad. Seeing that he was confiding, Nana asked him what was wrong, and Jun Sung said he wanted to go alone. He went to the bridge alone and felt sad. Unexpectedly, Nana also followed. Jun Sung sees that his thoughts have been seen through, and he wonders why Nana doesn't come back. Nana comforted Jun Sung, and she even took the initiative to hug him and play with him. However, the next day when Nana was on guard duty, the presidential candidate's son stared at her again and kept making eye contact with her, but Nana didn't pay attention. But when Nana got off work, he chased after her and offered to take Nana home. After being refused, he had no intention of giving up. He got out of the car and forced Nana into the car, which was seen by his uncle. He immediately called Jun Sung to ask him to find out about it. Jun Sung hurriedly ran over, and when the two of them were dragging each other, Jun Sung immediately stepped forward to stop him. The young master was still a little arrogant. Jun Sung didn't count on him, no matter who he was. "You must not touch my woman," and then you pull Nana away. This also made the young master feel resentful the next day at her shop. He saw Nana on a mission again. He didn't even think about it, walked over and pulled her. Nana was a bodyguard. She subdued him with just one movement, but when she realized it was the son of a presidential candidate, she let him go. Just when he was about to use force to take Nana away, Jun Sung came and pushed him away. The young master was very angry. Jun Sung keeps ruining his plans. He pulls Jun Sung out and teaches him a lesson. Seeing that Jun Sung couldn't resist, nor did he dare to complain, this made the young master even more shameless. However, the reason he did not resist was all because of collecting evidence. This scene has also been recorded by the uncle. Seeing him hand getting heavier and heavier, the president's daughter stepped forward to stop her, but he pushed her away. The bodyguard saw that he was finally able to take action, defeating him with only 23 moves. Jun Sung had achieved his goal and took the opportunity to do so. After returning home, even though Nana is angry that he is so cowardly, she still treats his wounds. The next day, as soon as he came out of the house, he was surrounded by the Military Manpower Bureau and reporters. Eventually, his son is taken away and it's all part of Jun Sung's plan. Soon came Jong He's campaign speech. Jun Sung handed the evidence he had collected to his uncle, telling him to sneak into the control room to hand out the evidence. Jun Sung wanted to arrest Jongga and take him to the detention center for trial. He easily dealt with the guards, and at this time Jongga heard a noise. Just as he was about to open the door, he was struck by the door handle. He was electrocuted and fell to the ground. Jun Sung took this opportunity to arrest him, but his uncle's fake ID card was discovered by the staff. He immediately informed Jun Sung. For now, it seems that Jongga can only be temporarily moved, but Nana is on guard duty. She discovered the anomaly, just as Jun Sung was about to flee. Nana pointed a gun at him, warning him to surrender immediately. Hearing this familiar voice, Jun Sung was feverish for a while. If it was someone else, he could have easily escaped. Now facing Nana, he was hesitant, but in order not to reveal his identity, he could only bet. He chose to jump down, but Nana didn't know the truth, and immediately exploded. The injured Jun Sung tried his best. Then he drove away from the scene. Jun Sung went to his friend's clinic as a biopsy. Thanks to her help, he was treated in time. Cindy didn't ask anything when she saw the news on TV. She understood everything, and at this time, her adoptive father called. Criticizing him can obviously take down the bodyguard why he let himself be shot. Jun Sung lied that it was his fault after the last action failed. Jongga will definitely increase security. The three of them carefully deploy again. Ensure perfect follow-up. At the candidate debate, Jun Sung throws a smoke bomb straight into the main control room. When the employees continue to sleep, Jun Sung will publicize the evidence he has collected. Jongga immediately panicked. Now that the evidence was too clear, the supporters were shocked, just as he wanted to escape. Nana also goes there. Nana is responsible for her work. She points a gun at Jun Sung. At this time, prosecutor Jun Sung came to arrest him. He asks Nana to arrest Jongga, and in a panic, Jongga snatches the gun from Nana's hand and uses her as a hostage to threaten. He fired 2 shots without bullets as a signal, at which point Nana seized the opportunity to resist. Jongga struggles to throw Nana out. He immediately fled, and prosecutor Young Lu chased after him. Just when Nana's fate was in danger, Jun Sung pulled her up. The adoptive father was almost angry when he witnessed this scene. Because of the injury, blood flowed down his arm. Jun Sung doesn't pay attention to the wound. He tries to save Nana. Just as he was about to leave, he was stopped by Nana. She asked him about the sniper shooting at the hotel last time. Did he save me? Jun Sung didn't answer. He turned to leave. When he ran over, his adoptive father caught Jongga. The uncle came to respond. They got into the car and fled the scene. Then they went to an abandoned warehouse, and their adoptive father scolded Jun Sung. Because of a woman who almost lost her mother, fortunately, her uncle reminded her. Not much time, the adoptive father loaded a bullet into the gun. He interrogated Jongga about the 3 other people involved in the assassination. Seeing that he was hesitant and did not want to reveal it, his adoptive father fired a shot. Jongga was extremely frightened and spoke immediately. At this time, the prosecutor brought someone over. Just as his adoptive father was about to kill Jongga, Jun Sung and his uncle glanced at each other and immediately released a smoke ball. Both wore gas masks. The others were immediately stunned. The prosecutor found out and he immediately ran in with everyone. However, when they noticed that the other people had disappeared, Jun Sung drove the truck to the prosecutor's office. He called the prosecutor to pick up the express broadcast. Janga committed many crimes, eventually facing legal sanctions. When his adoptive father wakes up, he realizes that everything was done by Jun Sung. In anger, he took all his anger at his uncle. Jun Sung hurriedly turned around, seeing his face covered in wounds as his adoptive father was about to teach him a lesson. Jun Sung stopped him. He told his adoptive father, "I would rather kill those 5 people than anyone else. But how to repay blood debts with blood is ineffective, more important than killing them. It's a good life in the future." The father and son once again disagreed on how to take revenge. In the end, the two of them broke up in frustration. After returning home, Jun Sung had a high fever. In a dream, he couldn't hold Nana's hand. Jun Sung woke up and was very worried. He couldn't control his thoughts about Nana. He hurriedly ran to her despite everything. At this time, Nana was also remembering Jun Sung. She poked naked forever without sleeping when she was alone on the balcony. Jun Sung came looking for her. Jun Sung protested to Nana. Why was it so late that she didn't sleep? Do you know a little taekwondo is terrible? Nana asked him why he didn't come home early. How could she sleep if she was worried? Her tears were about to run down her cheeks. Jun Sung couldn't take it anymore. He walked straight over, hugged Nana's face and kissed her. The two hearts that were hurt at this time were comforted. He held Nana in his arms. Jun Sung told her to take good care of herself in the future. These words made Nana feel warm. Jun Sung said he wanted a cup of coffee. Nana told him to wait here for a while. But when she rushed over, Jun Sung had already left. Nana called him, but he didn't answer. But what worries Jun Sung the most still happens. The adoptive father has started targeting Nana. He threatened the daughter he loved. Jun Sung didn't have time to think much. He hurried to get there immediately. However, when he arrived at Nana's house, he saw the two of them chatting very happily. The adoptive father looks friendly, but inside he is very scary. Jun Sung knows his cruelty well, which makes him worried about Nana. His adoptive father knew that the two had lived together. He asked if he loved that girl. Jun Sung said with certainty that there was none. But his adoptive father watched him grow up. How could he not see this small thought? He warned Jun Sung not to fall in love with anyone, because she can die at any time. This sentence made Jun Sung completely panicked. When Nana runs over, she feels that she is the one who caused the conflict between Jun Sung and her father. But Jun Sung told her not to worry about Nana's safety. He had to say this harsh word. This also made Nana extremely heartbroken. Jun Sung struggled internally. He decided to move out of Nana's house. The uncle took advantage of her absence from home to clean up Jun Sung's thick things. Looking at the feet of the young family of Nana, the uncle seemed to be contemplative. At this time, Jun Sung also walked over. He asked him to go first. He needs to tell Nana when Nana comes home. She saw that Jun Sung was asleep, just as she was about to wake him up. A few familiar images came to mind. Nana suspiciously covered Jun Sung's face with her hand. The results surprised her. At this time, she was sure that Jun Sung was a city hunter who had only recently appeared. Suddenly, Jun Sung woke up. Nana pretends nothing happened and tells him to get up and eat. Jun Sung tells him about his story. He also deliberately said a few hurtful words. Jun Sung was already gone, leaving only Nana with a confused expression to prevent her from being in danger. Jun Sung could only make this difficult decision. Nana goes to Jun Sung's room. She stumbles upon a photo when she sees the owner eating a snack. Nana thought of Jun Sung's strange gaze looking at her and what he had said. She realized that perhaps the hostess was Jun Sung's mother. The next day, Nana took the initiative to bring coffee but was knocked to the ground by Jun Sung. "Why are you still doing that?" "Because I like you." Although her confession was rejected, Nana decided, bravely facing this feeling. She told herself not to give up. That night, Nana receives a message from Jun Sung asking her to drive for him, but when she happily gets there, her heart sank to the bottom again. In order to keep Nana away from him, Jun Sung deliberately led another woman with him. But then Nana's actions make Jun Sung regret it. The man he loves is having an affair with someone else. He can't stand it anymore. Nana slammed on the brakes and stopped. She pulled the woman out of the car, then called a taxi and chased her away. Jun Sung asks her why she did that. Could it be that she was jealous? Nana said that that kind of woman was not worth her jealousy. She never forced Jun Sung to love her if he really wanted her to leave. Then find a decent woman to date. At that time, she would be jealous in front of Jun Sung. Nana left sadly. Jun Sung's path to revenge is extremely dangerous. He didn't want Nana to be hurt because of him, but Jun Sung didn't know how to give up this feeling. The next day, Nana went to the snack shop. Unexpectedly, Jun Sung's mother suddenly fainted. At the hospital, Nana told Jun-sung about it and then he understood. Nana already knew it was his mother. After the Jun-sung arrived, the doctor said that the patient was diagnosed with myeloid leukemia. The appropriate bone marrow production between family members is high. She had to be treated as soon as possible. Nana convinces him to hate his mother's bone marrow. However, Jun-sung still feels resentment for being abandoned by his mother. Nana just said don't wait until you're gone to regret it. In order not to regret it, Jun-sung still had to take a blood test. Right then, prosecutor Jun-sung walked over. He suspected that Jun-sung was the city hunter who had just appeared, although it is a legitimate action. But not recognized by law, Jun-sung took Jun-sung away for investigation. If the results of the blood sample are given, his identity will be revealed. At that time, the revenge plan will fail. For this reason, Jun-sung followed him all the way to the ambulance, disguising himself as a dead man, and taken to the morgue. When the staff left, Jun-sung opened the bag and walked out. Then he climbed into the testing room. When the staff is not paying attention, he replaces the blood sample with a pre-prepared sample. However, when Jun-sung left, Jun-sung came to urge the test results. Jun-sung seized the opportunity and escaped by jumping out of the window. Jun-sung suddenly realized something. He rushed to check but found nothing. Feeling uneasy, he went down the stairs. At this time, Jun-sung was about to flee. Just as he was about to be discovered, suddenly a hand pulled him into the room. Successfully escaped from the pursuit of Jun-sung, instinctively pulling out fake vegetables. But when you look closely, it's Nana. After Jun-sung escaped, he realized that Nana knew his identity. He warned Nana not to interfere in his affairs, as if he had never known him. For this reason, Jun-sung quit his job at the greenhouse. After she found out, Nana went to find him. Faced with Jun-sung's indifference, Nana made a choice. She tells Jun-sung that she will forget. She will go back to the time before she met him. When Jun-sung was stunned, Nana resolutely left. However, in the subsequent act of revenge, Jun-sung discovers that Nana's parents' traffic name case is related to his uncle. Now that Jun-sung knows about this, he doesn't hide it anymore. He had felt guilty for many years, so he could only help Nana silently. He promised Jun-sung that after carrying Jong-sik to confess, he would also confess. At the same time, his adoptive father also began to take action. He sent an email to prosecutor Jung-ju revealing the city's hunter's next target. It will be his father. Jung-ju immediately goes to his father to ask. Jong-sik pretended to have a clear conscience, saying that he had done nothing innocent. Obviously Jung-ju didn't believe it because the person the city hunter wanted to capture, they are all people who have committed many crimes. As a result, the two broke up unhappily. Jong-sik realized the danger. Immediately ordered someone to look for the whereabouts of the uncle. Nana was also taken hostage. At this time, Jun-sung saw a distress signal sent by his uncle. He knew he had been in distress. According to the location, the Jun-sung was there. Nana is locked in a small, dark room. She woke up. After she woke him up, she asked him to help her untie the wire. Then she asked to go to the bathroom. While the guards were not paying attention, she dealt with them with ease. Just when the two were about to escape, Jun-sung came over. Jun-sung told him to take Nana first. They'll come back to find out. He goes to Jong-sik's office, finds an iron knot. After a few operations, he cracked the password successfully. The secret door was opened when Jun-sung entered. It's unbelievable. According to approximate calculations, there are at least 200 billion in cash here. This is the amount of money that Jong-sik has embezzled over the years. Jun-sung placed a tracker in it. Just as he was about to leave, the bodyguard suddenly appeared. An anesthetic shot straight at him. But Nana and his uncle were worried about him and still didn't leave. Seeing Jun-sung being taken away, they quietly followed. Jun-sung was beaten very brutally. Nana was very nervous, but the opponent had more people and was stronger. The uncle suggested notifying his adoptive father. He told Nana not to act rashly. However, seeing her beloved being beaten, Nana couldn't stand it anymore. She rushed into the room and began to argue with them. The leader saw that the situation was not good, and immediately pulled out a gun and wanted to kill Jun-sung immediately. In a moment of urgency, Nana desperately delivers the fatal blow to Jun-sung. Jun-sung immediately woke up. He picked up the barrel of oil next to him and threw it at him. He knocked down her name and exploded. He was angry with his feelings because his revenge put Nana in danger. Jun-sung trembled and helped Nana up. Asked her why she saved him. Unfortunately, Nana was seriously injured, and she didn't have time to say a few words. She fainted to avoid the chase. Jun-sung had no choice but to go to his friend to ask for help. After a few steps of treatment, Nana was out of danger. Jun-sung takes her home. The uncle apologizes to Nana for what happened that year. He promised to get justice for her. When Jun-sung was investigating the 200 billion case of the chain, the uncle suddenly found the camera on the lampstand. Jun Sung knew that this was done by his adoptive father. When he came to inquire, then he overheard his adoptive father discussing his mother's affairs with his subordinates. Then he was taken away by his adoptive father, not abandoned by his mother. Jun Sung was deeply saddened to learn about this. In revenge, his adoptive father ruined his life. Jun Sung warned him not to hurt those around him. Otherwise, he would never forgive him. He had watched Jun Sung grow up since he was a child. When he heard this, he couldn't help but feel sad. Jun Sung misses his mother. He regrets being indifferent to her. He also blamed himself for not meeting her sooner. After returning home, Nana prepared to leave. Jun Sung stopped her. He hoped Nana didn't leave. However, Nana does not want to be a burden to him. She still left him. He chased after Nana and held her in his arms. At this time, Jun Sung no longer wanted to suppress his emotions. Since then, there has been a change between the two. Jun Sung not only changed Nana's medicine, he even took the initiative to wash her hair. Nana took the opportunity to play Jun Sung. The two had a good time. The mother was discharged from the hospital. She took all her savings and donated them to Jongsik's charity. This money was sent to her by her adoptive father for many years. As she still doesn't know, Jongsik has a kind appearance but is actually very masculine. After seeing her off, Jongsik went to the secret room. In order to avoid a long night, he intended to transfer the money to visit this umbrella. And all his actions were under Jun Sung's control. Just in time, the money to visit the box was about to be transferred. Jun Sung walked over and he used smoke bombs to stun them. In the end, this car full of money fell into Jun Sung's hands. Unexpectedly, in the middle of the road he was stopped by his adoptive father. Jun Sung had no intention of slowing down. The adoptive father was still calm. He guessed that Jun Sung would not rush over. Sure enough, the truck stopped at the last minute. Jun Sung could only watch his adoptive father drive the truck away. When his adoptive father arrived at safety, he opened the door and found the inside empty. He immediately smiled. Jun Sung had a list of victims. He packed the money and returned it to them one by one. When he learned that 200 billion had been coped, Jongsik suffered a brain attack. To celebrate the criminal who is about to go to trial, he asked Nana and Jun Sung to go shopping. However, when the two left the supermarket, the glass door suddenly closed. Away from the two of them at this time, a motorbike came at a fast speed. Jun Sung discovered the danger, and he immediately smashed the glass. The adoptive father rushed over and pointed a gun at Nana. Jun Sung protected her behind him. The adoptive father didn't shoot. He just wanted to remind Jun Sung after completing the revenge plan. Only then can you protect the people around you. Jun Sung is helpless. For the sake of Nana's safety, he can only compromise. Soon Jun Sung found out that the Germans were about to flee the country. He followed German into the same elevator. Finally, the bodyguard fell to the ground, and Jun Sung caught him. German was still thrown before the prosecutor's office under his torture. The assassin confessed that, after the Germans met the president, he once asked him to find a woman named Kungi. Jun Sung was shocked when he found out, because that woman was his mother. Soon, the uncle found the whereabouts of Jun Sung's mother. Jun Sung arrived, and the mother and daughter resolved a misunderstanding that had lasted for many years. They finally got each other back. The uncle asked Jun Sung to go see his mother's friend. From his mother's friend, Jun Sung's mother got married because she was pregnant with him. This also proves that his biological father is a different person. When Jun Sung looked for his mother and asked about it, she didn't hide him anymore. It turns out that his mother has an affair with the president, so as not to affect his future. She had just left him. During the investigation, Jun Sung discovers that the ultimate target of revenge is the president. It was his biological father. The adoptive father called the president. If you don't want many innocent people to die, then the two of you should have a final battle. After hanging up the phone, the president told the guards that an important guest would soon be visiting. Tell him not to have a full body check. However, when his adoptive father arrived, Jun Sung had been waiting here beforehand. He asked Jun Sung to leave. He was no longer needed here. Jun Sung was determined to stop all of this. The two looked at each other. Each person pulled out a gun and pointed it at the other. Jun Sung couldn't do anything about his adoptive father, so he pointed the gun at himself. He only hoped that his adoptive father could forget his hatred. At the moment he pulled the trigger, Nana ran over. She asked Jun Sung to put down the gun. At this time, the president pushed Nana out. His adoptive father took this opportunity to shoot him. Jun Sung sees danger. He hurriedly ran over, seeing Jun Sung being shot. Nana immediately shot her adoptive father. All the guards ran in. At the last minute, his adoptive father pointed a gun at Jun Sung. He accepted all the mistakes. The adoptive father removed the bullet and actively accepted the punishment. The president handed over the evidence of the plan to wipe out the old year to Jun Sung. 20 Special Forces soldiers were added to the list of martyrs. It's all over. Jun Sung and Nana's happy life has just begun. The Korean drama City Hunter has ended. Thank you for signing up and supporting. See you in the next movie.